what's happening. 2 days late on the prep vlog because 15 weeks out was Friday. So we're just going to run through kind of everything that's happening. So we'll start off with, I feel a bit shite. I've got, as you can hear from my voice, I've got a bit of a cold. And I put up my story as well that I've got like the pretense to a migraine. So usually I get a migraine once a year, and they're pretty horrific, last about 3 days. So I can kind of feel this one coming along. This one is kind of, so in the past I've had to, I was in hospital for 5 days in 2017 because I thought I had a bleed in my brain because my headaches were so bad. It turned out that my eyesight, didn't find this out in the hospital itself, but my eyesight had deteriorated further. I've got horrendous eyesight. So what's called is astigmatism in my eye. It's like basically the shape of your eye. So your shape are essentially cones. So I've essentially got even more cone eyes, and I think that this migraine's been brought on by that. So obviously I spend my whole day staring at screens, staring at laptops, staring at phones. It's not ideal, but you have to soldier on. So hopefully I don't wake up tomorrow with the same level of migraine I've had in the past. It's like what I imagine having the flu is like. That's how bad my migraines get. So I have had one this year already. Came back from Dubai. Again, that was brought on by my eyesight because when I was out there I didn't bring any spare contact lenses, and I had to, one of them broke in half, and I had to wear one contact lens by itself for about a day and a half. And when you've got one powerful eye and one short eye, the short eye is trying to compensate. So that obviously gave me a horrendous migraine, and that lasted about 3 days as well. So yeah, I'm just feeling a bit run down in that sense. But strength has gone up, appetite's fine, recovery's bang on, and it's taken, we passed the 7-week mark post-show? I think we have. My sleep is finally back to normal, so no need for the cannabis oil before I go to bed. I think there's a bit of a something misconstrued there as well. I've been asked about it by a few people. It's not CPD, it's pure cannabis oil that I was using. I'm not a stoner, so I don't know the difference between CPD and cannabis oil. I just know there is a difference. I was also vaping cannabis oil as well before I went to bed, but I don't do that anymore. I might as well touch on that note, because obviously we hear about people using cannabis in bodybuilding. I never until this year used it. I wasn't using it for recovery or inflammation. I thought that even though my food was quite low, my recovery was still pretty decent. I was using it purely for sleep. Because as I've said a million times in these vlogs, and as I've documented my progress in the past in contest prep, I really suffer sleep-wise pre-contest. Flat out insomnia. So yeah, it was, in previous years I put up with it. In 2019 I just put up with it. I think I've joked about it, especially in the podcast as well, like I'd get a shit ton of work done and my flat would be clean all the time because like all I could do is do work and clean at 1 in the morning. But it was getting to a point now where I was like, I need to sort this. So I did, and the cannabis oil definitely helped. It helped me stay asleep. Didn't really help me get to sleep too much, but I definitely stayed asleep. So it was definitely a thing I'm going to use in the future as well. Like I said, I'm not a stoner. I've only smoked a couple of times in my life. So it's not something I want to do year round. That's a slippery slope in my opinion. So don't get me wrong, when I mistimed the cannabis oil, I felt pretty fucking good. Towards the end of the night, I felt chilled, felt relaxed. I felt like half of what I get when I'm actually stoned. So anyway, enough of the stoner chat. Right, so I was 260.6 on Friday, so that's a pound loss from last week. As I said before, we decided not to really change anything. The food's still sky high. The food is still in line with what I was on actually I think it's a wee bit more than where I was when I finished my last off season back in April. So I'm in a good place because I noticeably got leaner last week, and I wasn't eating a ton of shite either. So it's not as if my body was compensating, whereby I was losing like water or crap weight from eating crap all the time post show. I went from, you know, I just tidied things up just a little bit. So it's very interesting to see. Obviously, it just shows my metabolism's in a great place post show. I feel I'm growing. You know, if I say to clients as well, if you can spot changes in yourself, especially in an off season, you know you're doing something right. And I can spot visual changes in terms of size. Strength obviously is the number one indicator. If that's progressing, then we know you're adding muscle tissue. So, I mean, for instance, put a 10k jump on my squat. Obviously, as I said before, I'm working within different rep ranges, and I'm doing squats third in my leg routine. So, got up to 17 reps of 160. A goal of mine has always been to get 180 for 20. I've never been able to do that. I think I've got a video of me doing 18 with barbell squats. So yeah, I'm going to kind of work up to that, hopefully before the arse end of prep rolls around. Nick thinks I'm a little bit tighter. I sent photos over to Nick on Friday, and we discussed linking up and getting one-to-one visuals in, which is, again, if you haven't seen these vlogs before, or if this is the first time you're coming across my YouTube or Instagram, that's the reason I left Patrick Tuer, was to have a prep where I see my coach in person, and so we're going to get that ball rolling. I'm fine just now, obviously, because like I said, my mind's still in a good place. I can still register changes. I've got enough of a trained eye myself that I can notice my own changes, but even the most trained eye will start to get distorted as the energy dips. And it's always nice just to have like a second opinion on your progress. So obviously with Nick's veteran eye, he thinks we've tightened up as well. So pretty much agreed with everything across the board on that front. Yeah, so it's 15 weeks out. Well, it's now 14 weeks and 5 days out. So there's not going to be a lot happening, especially because I came into this prep far leaner, through not by really doing anything, just the fact that I've competed. Last time I came out prep wasn't that long ago, so that's purely the fact of starting a leaner point. Because if you look back on old vlogs, the first maybe 3 weeks, well, the first 10 days, the first 10 days of the prep last year, I lost a stone in 10 days. Just an accumulation of all the water over that off season just kind of fell off within the first 10 days. So, and then I just got slowly tired from that point. So that's not going to happen this time, because I haven't come in to the prep with a shit ton of water. I haven't come into the prep on a lot of drugs, which I did previously. Came in on a quite high off season cycle. I didn't come in from a cruise or a PCT. So yeah, that's where I'm sitting at now. Performance is spot on. Visually, I think I'm very happy where I am. Like I said, I can see and register size changes, so pretty chuffed with that. And everything else seems to be flying just now. So nothing difficult's happened just now. I'm a little bit hungrier, but nothing worth really mentioning it. Nothing to register or tell Nick anyway. You can tell me to fuck off anyway. So I'm in a very, very good place. Mentally, still just as motivated. No, it kind of hit me like, I've done a year-long prep before. 2019 was a year-long prep, and so yeah, in April, I had that gap there. So I had 5 weeks off between the Arnold UK prep and the start of this one. By the time the Arnold rolls around in March, that'll be 10 months. 10 months technically prepping. So I was kind of made aware of that, and I kind of go, oh fuck, that's, I don't really think like this often, but I was kind of, geez, that is a long time. But it wasn't enough to kind of take hold of my emotions or anything like that. Still just as motivated, back to my kind of OCD nature, whereas in in that 5-week gap, like I was putting, for instance, like, wait for it, I was putting like sauces and stuff on my food, God forbid, a little bit extra salt here and there, and yeah, so that's all been scrapped. Like, and as a coach, you probably, my clients have probably heard me say, no, fucking keep that stuff in. Like, if that helps you stick to your diet, then fair enough. But for me, I need that out. I need that out just to kind of get me into that kind of that prep zone. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with how things are looking. And yeah, I'm just chilled just now. It's just kind of rolling, nice, gradually. We'll see where we're sitting at next Friday. I think I've got a few videos being filmed this coming week. Can't remember. So it's gonna be good going forward. Don't think there's any kind of topics I want to kind of highlight in this one. So I think we're just gonna keep going, keep the setup up, and see what we get to. So yeah, cheers guys.